My name is Josh Grisdale. I've lived in Japan for 11 years now. I'm originally from a small town called Uxbridge, Ontario, just outside of Toronto. And I work in Tokyo, and I do sort of web stuff and IT things. But in the spare time, I do a program called Accessible Japan. And it's a website that explains accessibility in Japan for people who want to come and visit this country. So I have a lot of information on tourist locations, hotels, as well as just sort of general information about how things work in Japan for riding the trains, or some vital words you should know if you have a disability. So I've got all those kind of things on the website, as well as going around to talk at different locations throughout Japan about the importance of accessible travel and why places should improve accessibility and how they can welcome people with disabilities from other countries. So it was thanks to the Canadian education system that I had developed an interest in Japan. In high school, actually, in the middle of rural Ontario, we had a Japanese class offered at my high school. And I thought, well, that'd be an interesting class to take for maybe a future in IT, that to speak Japanese would be a real benefit. So I took that class, and my teacher, who was actually not Japanese, but he lived in Japan for a number of years and learned Japanese, and he really loved Japan, and that sort of rubbed off on me. And I thought maybe, well, one day I'd like to go visit. So after I finished high school, I came over with my father, and we spent some time in Tokyo. And I think really important time in my life, because I was learning about independence. I'd always lived at home, so going out and exploring someplace new was really important to me. And that sort of gave me a lot of confidence for when I went back to Canada. I went to university and sort of started me on an adventure of exploring. And I came back a number of times on vacations as well, was a university student. And I thought, maybe I want to try living there for a while and see what it's like. So that's how I came to Japan a number of years ago. So I feel that Japan is actually quite an accessible country, but there's just not much information on it. So I was quite surprised when I came here. I think there's different aspects that both countries have as strengths and weaknesses, maybe. Japan is very good for infrastructure. So getting around on the trains and the buses is very easy, as well as the accessible toilets are very easy to use, and they're very plentiful. I think that Canada is really strong in terms of social improvement, integrating people into all different parts of life. For example, it's much easier to find a job if you have a disability in Canada and to participate in society. So I think both countries can learn a lot from each other. And I think in the next couple of years, that if both the countries could work together, that'd be an incredible future for both countries.